Hello everyone. So today I'm showing us how to bead our turban, this particular pattern of beading. I hope you can see this clearly. So I just want to quickly illustrate how to bead our turban like that. These are the ones that I have done. Okay, this is one I just finished beading. All right, so I'm going to be showing us the materials we need. What we need is our fishing line. Fishing line is better than thread and is neater. You need a 0.25 mm fishing line. 0.25 mm fishing line. You need your beading needle, either size 11 or size 12. The beading needle is tinier than a normal needle. It will pass through your bead and as well as through your fabric. Then you're going to be needing this bead. This bead is called sequence bead. Can you see this? Yeah, and it comes in different shapes, but I like using this one that looks like a leaf. That's the shape I like to use, and it has holes up and down. Please be careful, ensure you buy the ones that have two holes, because I've bought some that had only one hole and I could not use it. Then you also be needing your seed bead or sand bead. Some people call it seed bead, some people call it sand bead. All right, can you see that? So you're going to be needing that as well, the same color with your sequence bead. So you can just buy quarter of the beads, quarter of the bead of each bead. It should be enough for you to make your turban, except you are doing in bulk. So the first thing you do is you need to thread your fishing line onto your beading needle, but you have to ensure that your thread is not too long. I prefer that your fishing line is not too long, because if it's too long it will keep tangling. Fishing line tangles a lot, but at the same time ensure that the fishing line is long enough to go from one line, or from the beginning of one line to the end of one line. Can you see that? Where I started and see where I stopped. Ensure that your fishing line is enough to go from the beginning to the end where you want to stop, but make sure that it's not too long. If it's too long, you will have a challenge, because fishing line tangles easily. Okay, that's very important. And me, when I want to do this beading, I like to do it before closing my turban, so it's a matter of choice. So I'm just going to insert my needle from the first line of my pleated v-band, okay, so that I can secure the knot inside. I don't want the knot to show outside. Then I will take my sequence bead, insert the needle into one of the holes, and then place it on my turban. Can you see that? Now the sequence bead, like I said before, has two holes, and normally you can just pass your needle from one hole to the other through the turban, but the fishing line is going to show on top, thereby making your work untidy. That is why we need the seed bead. Now, depending on the size of your seed bead, you can use 3 or 4 seed or sand bead. Now this sand bead I'm using is quite small, so I'm using 4 of it. If your sand bead is a little bigger, you may need to use a 3. Just make sure that the sand bead lies flat on your turban after you, rather on your sequence bead after you bead it. So I'm using 4 there, can you see? And I take it down to the top of the sequence bead. Now, to secure it from moving like that, I will now pass my needle through the second hole and come out to the back of my pleats. All right, when you try to practice this, you will understand better what I am saying. I hope this is very explanatory enough. And please, like I said, be careful. Fishing line tangles a lot, so you have to be very careful. Ensure that the seed bead or the sand bead lays flat on your sequence bead. Now pass my needle back to the top of my pleats, that pleat I'm working on, and just leave a little space from the previous sequence bead. Don't make your needle come out too close to the previous sequence bead, and don't leave too much space. Now I'll pick another sequence bead to proceed. Just pick another sequence bead, then bring it down to the top of your turban. Then you take the same number of seed or sand bead that you were working with before, either 3 or 4, whatever it is you're working with. So you place that on your needle as well, and then you take it and pass it through the second hole. Can you see it? I hope you're understanding what I'm saying properly. pass it through the second hole that will secure it to the turban. So you just continue like that until you have covered your pleats. Try not to get to the edge, so that when you want to close your turban, the bead is not going to disturb your sewing machine. So don't bead up to the end of your fabric. All right, this is the one I've done. So please let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for watching.